January 18th, 2022, and ask the clerk to please call the roll.
Supervisor Barrett.
Here.
Butler.
Here.
Connolly.
Here.
Edwards.
Yes.
Gaston.
Here.
Grasso.
Here.
Hammond.
Here.
Kanowski.
Here.
Kuzniers.
Here.
Lant.
Here.
Lawler.
Here.
Ostrander.
Here.
Peck.
Here.
Raymond. Richardson.
Here.
Shaw. Smith.
Here.
Tollison.
Here.
Kevin Beach.
Here.
Matt Beach.
Here.
Winnie.
Here.
Wood.
Here.
Wright.
Here.
Quorum present.
Thank you, and if everyone please rise for attention to the flag and remain standing for our chapter. I pledge
pledge
allegiance
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, as we begin the new year, we continue to thank you for the many blessings that you have given us and for the privilege of serving the residents of Saratoga County. May we proceed with optimism, enthusiasm, and vitality as we conduct the important business of Saratoga County. We ask for your guidance in our deliberations so that we may make the best possible decisions on all issues that come before us. May we continue to work cooperatively, always striving for the best interest of the residents of Saratoga County. During this month of January, may we remember Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and his dream for a better America. May we work hard to see that his dream is a reality, that service to others is a priority, that social equality and justice become commonplace, that we work together as bridge builders, and that the rights of all county residents are forever protected. Throughout all of 2022, we ask that you look out for the safety and security of all members of our armed forces and see that they all come home safely. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Thank you very much, Supervisor Wood, and would ask that the record reflect that we've been joined by Supervisor Shaw. Agenda item 5 is approval of minutes. We have two sets. We have December 15, 2021, and the organizational meeting minutes of January 5th, 2022. And because we did have different supervisors' absence, I would recommend that we take them separately and do a roll call vote. So would someone like to move approval of December 15, 2021 minutes? Moved by Supervisor Tollison, seconded by Supervisor Shaw. Roll call?
Supervisor Barrett.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Connolly.
Yes.
Edwards.
Yes.
Gaston.
Yes.
Grasso.
Yes.
Hammond.
Yes.
Kanowski.
Yes.
Kuzniers.
Yes.
Lant.
Yes.
Lawler.
Yes.
Ostrander.
Yes.
Peck.
Yes.
Richardson.
Yes.
Shaw.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Tollison.
Yes.
Kevin Beach.
Yes.
Matt Beach.
Yes.
Winnie.
Yes.
Wood.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Would somebody like to move adoption of the minutes for January 5th, 2022? Moved by Supervisor Tollison, seconded by Supervisor Smith. Roll call.
Supervisor Barrett.
I hope Clifton Park's in this district. Yes.
Well, the lines aren't final yet. It may happen.
Butler.
Yes.
Connolly.
Yes.
Edwards.
Yes.
Gaston.
Yes.
Grasso,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Kanowski,
Yes.
Kuzniers,
Yes.
Lant,
Yes.
Lawler,
Yes.
Ostrander,
Yes.
Peck,
Abstain, I was,
Richardson,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Collison,
Yes.
Kevin Beach,
Yes.
Matt Beach,
Yes.
Winnie,
Yes.
Wood,
Yes.
Wright, motion passes.
Thank you. Agenda item 6 is correspondence. Clerk will read.
Letter from County Clerk Craig Hayner informing the Board of the following appointments. Charles Fraser as First Deputy County Clerk and Shauna Sutton as Deputy County Clerk effective January 1st, 2022.
Received and filed.
Letter from Katie C. Lewis resigning from the Community Services Board.
Received and filed.
Letter from County Attorney Michael Hartnett informing the Board of the following appointments. Michelle W. Granger, First Assistant County Attorney. Hugh G. Burke. Vida L. McCarthy Cerrito, Alexis M. Osborne, Michael P. Naughton, Nicholas M. Martin, and Marybeth A. Hunt as Assistant County Attorneys, effective January 1st, 22 to December 31st, 22.
Received and filed.
Letter from Conflict Defender George Conway informing the Board of the following appointments. Neil S. Wiener, George Sexton as Assistant Conflict Defender, effective January 1st, 22 to December 31st, 22.
Received and filed.
Letter from Public Defender Andrew Blumenberg informing the Board of the following appointments. Joseph W. Hammer, First Assistant Public Defender. Heather N. Brandy, Michael J. Carota, Nicholas D'Alessandro, John DeLong, Matthew Maiello, William A. Nowak, Elizabeth A. Parrish, Andrew Proler, Frederick Wrench, and Anne Flower Sitt as Assistant Public Defenders effective January 5th, 22 to December 31st, 22.
Received and filed.
Letter from Arthur D. Nolan resigning as Deputy Coroner effective December 29th, 2021.
Received and filed.
Letter from Commissioner Social Services Tina Potter and Melissa Myers, Supervisor of Foster Care Unit, thanking the Board for collecting toys and monetary donations for the Children's Holiday Program.
Received and filed. Agenda item 7 is reports of committees. We only had one committee, that was the Law and Finance Committee, which will be taking up the bills that reported out of that committee this afternoon. I would just like to add that it has been inaccurately reported that committee meetings were unable to take place for the month of January, and as a matter of fact, all the department heads had received notification as to whether or not they wanted any items placed on the Law and Finance agenda for January, and that is how we have the agenda with the resolutions that we'll be taking up this afternoon. So no county business was impacted by the lack of announcement of committees. So at this time, we'll take up resolutions 28 through 53 and ask the clerk to read.
Mr. Chairman, before we start, Mr. Chairman, can I just,
Supervisor Richardson.
I just want to mention to everybody that the Veterans Committee at the end of last year decided that we were not going to do the deceased honor the vets here in January. We'll be, at our next meeting, we'll be discussing when we think we should start that up again because of the spike in COVID. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Supervisor. Any other supervisor wish to be heard in relation to committees in general? If not, clerk will read resolutions 28 through 53.
Resolution 28, introduced by Law and Finance, authorizing the acceptance of a 2020 statewide interoperable communications grant from the New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services and amending the 2022 county budget in relation thereto. Budget impact statement, no budget impact, 100% state aid. Resolution 29, introduced by Law and Finance, authorizing a renewal agreement with Mission Critical Partners, LLC, for maintenance of the Capital District computer-aided dispatch system. Budget impact statement, no budget impact. Resolution 30, introduced by Law and Finance, authorizing an amended agreement with Saratoga Hospital for the use of lab and morgue facilities. Budget impact statement, no budget impact. Funds are available in the 2022 budget. Resolution 31, introduced by Law and Finance, appointing Eugene Ledoux as Deputy Coroner. Budget impact statement, no budget impact. Funds are available in the 2022 budget. Resolution 32, introduced by Law and Finance, authorizing an agreement with Tim Godlewski for morgue assistant services. Budget impact statement, no budget impact. Funds are available in the 2022 budget. Resolution 33, introduced by Law and Finance, authorizing the acceptance and disbursement of New York State Septic System Replacement Program grant funds and amending the 2021 county budget in relation thereto. Budget impact statement, none, 100% state aid. Resolution 34, introduced by Law and Finance, authorizing contact tracing services agreements with Meredith Locke, Tiffany Foley, and Carolyn Hinchcliffe. Budget impact statement, none. Costs associated with this contract will be covered by a Health Research Inc. grant. Resolution 35, introduced by Law and Finance, authorizing an agreement with Maxim Healthcare Services Inc. for the provision of nursing services to preschool students. Budget impact statement, no budget impact. Funds for this agreement are included in the 2022 budget. Resolution 36, introduced by Law and Finance, setting a public hearing on proposed amendments to the boundaries of Saratoga County Consolidated Agricultural Districts Number 1 and Number 2. Budget impact statement, no budget impact. Resolution 37, introduced by Law and Finance, authorizing the chairman to enter into an amended agreement with CHA Consulting Inc. for design, construction administration, and construction inspection services related to the construction of a 1.2-mile section of the Champlain Canalway Trail in the town and village of Waterford. Budget impact statement, no budget impact, 100% state aid. Resolution 38, introduced by Law and Finance, authorizing the county auditor to approve tax refunds, corrections, and credits in amounts not to exceed $2,500. Budget impact statement, no budget impact. Resolution 39, introduced by Law and Finance, scheduling a public hearing on proposed amendment and extensions of the East and West Facilities airport leases with North American Flight Services Inc. through December 31st, 2061. Budget impact statement, no budget impact. Resolution 40, introduced by Law and Finance, amending Resolution 156 of 2020 to authorize the acceptance of an extension of a grant eligibility term from the New York State Board of Elections. Budget impact statement, none, 100% state aid. Resolution 41, introduced by Law and Finance, authorizing the acceptance of a grant from the William G. Pomeroy Foundation for the establishment of historical markers and amending the 2022 county budget in relation thereto. Budget impact statement, none, 100% local aid. Resolution 42, introduced by Law and Finance, introducing a proposed local law identified as Introductory Number 1, Print Number 1 of 2022, to amend Local Law Number 2 of 1968 to increase the population threshold for an additional county supervisor and scheduling a public hearing thereon. Budget impact statement, no budget impact. Resolution 43, introduced by Law and Finance, adopting a local law identified as Introductory Number 7, Print Number 1 of 2021, entitled A Local Law Amending the 2022 Saratoga County Compensation Schedule to provide salary and cost of living increases for certain county officials. Budget impact statement, no budget impact. Resolution 44, introduced by Law and Finance, authorizing an agreement with Gill Technical Inc. for the installation of additional public address and intercom systems at the Public Safety Facilities Building. Budget impact statement, no budget impact. Funds for this agreement are included in the Public Safety Building Capital Fund. Resolution 45, introduced by Law and Finance, authorizing an amendment to the agreement with Twin State Voice Data Video Inc. for the installation of additional public address and intercom systems at the Public Safety Facilities Building. Budget impact statement, no budget impact. Funds for this agreement are included in the Public Safety Building Capital Fund. Resolution 46, introduced by Law and Finance, rescinding Resolution 291 of 2021, and authorizing an agreement with Mid-State Industries Limited for the replacement of the roof at Building Number 2 at Saratoga County Sewer District Number 1's wastewater treatment plant. Budget impact statement, no budget impact. Resolution 47, introduced by Law and Finance, authorizing a renewal agreement with Adirondack Environmental Services, Inc. to conduct lab testing and wastewater analysis for Saratoga County Sewer District Number 1. Budget impact statement, no budget impact. Resolution 48, introduced by Law and Finance, authorizing an amendment to an agreement with Arcadis of New York, Inc. for performance of a technical determination of local limit study and evaluation of the Saratoga County Sewer District Number 1's industrial pretreatment program. Budget impact statement, no budget impact. Resolution 49, introduced by Law and Finance, authorizing an agreement with Nancy Wemple for consulting services at the County Clerk's Office. Budget impact statement, no budget impact. Resolution 50, introduced by Law and Finance, authorizing the creation of a Saratoga County non-profit COVID relief grant fund. Budget impact statement, no budget impact. Resolution 51, introduced by Chairman Kuzniers, appointing a member to the Community Services Board. Budget impact statement, no budget impact. Resolution 52, introduced by Chairman Kuzniers, appointing a member to the Saratoga County Water Authority Board. Budget impact statement, no budget impact. Resolution 53, introduced by Chairman Kuzniers, appointing commissioners of Saratoga County Sewer District Number 1. Budget impact statement, no budget impact.
Thank you very much, and would ask that the record reflect that we have been joined by Supervisor Raymond. Are there any requests for separate votes on resolutions 28 through 53? Supervisor Guest.
Chairman, I request a separate vote on resolution 42.
Resolution 42.
Mr. Chairman,
Supervisor Beach.
resolution 53, please,
Resolution 53.
for discussion. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to note for
Supervisor
the
Grassley.
record, I plan to abstain from any discussion or vote on resolution number 37.
Resolution 37. Duly noted. Any other requests? If not, I'd entertain a motion to adopt resolutions 28 through 53, except for resolutions 37, 42, and 53.
So moved. Supervisor Connolly.
Supervisor Connolly, second.
Second.
Supervisor Land. Roll call.
Supervisor Barrett,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Connolly,
Yes.
Edwards,
Yes.
Gaston,
Yes.
Grasso,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Kanowski,
Yes.
Kuzniers,
Yes.
Lant,
Yes.
Lawler,
Yes.
Ostrander,
Yes.
Peck,
Yes.
Raymond,
Yes.
Richardson,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Tollison,
Yes.
Kevin Beach,
Yes.
Matt Beach,
Yes.
Winnie,
Yes.
Wood,
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Would somebody like to move resolution 37?
Mr. Chairman, I'll move,
Supervisor Beach, Matt Beach, seconded by Supervisor Smith. I don't think this was, anybody had any issues with this? If not, we'll call the roll.
Supervisor Barrett,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Connolly,
Yes.
Edwards,
Yes.
Gaston,
Yes.
Grasso abstains,
Abstain.
Hammond,
Yes.
Kanowski,
Yes.
Kuzniers,
Yes.
Lant,
Yes.
Lawler,
Yes.
Ostrander,
Yes.
Peck,
Yes.
Raymond,
Yes.
Richardson,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yep.
Smith,
Yes.
Tollison,
Yes.
Kevin Beach,
Yes.
Matt Beach,
Yes.
Winnie,
Yes.
Wood,
Yes.
Wright?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Would somebody like to move resolution 42 for discussion?
So moved.
Who's that? Supervisor
Rosso.
Grosslin. Is there a second?
Second.
Supervisor Tolleson. Discussion. Hearing none. Roll call.
Here's our light on.
I'm sorry. Supervisor Guest.
Thank you, Chairman. My concern with resolution 42, I understand it's going to a public hearing before it's enacted, but we are continuing to respond to an increase in population by parsing numbers. And I don't think that it does justice to our population in Saratoga County or as supervisors. In 1970, when this first iteration of the resolution came into effect, our county had half the population it does now. We keep moving it. I crunched some numbers, and keeping one supervisor at Half Moon and changing the weighted vote, or the weighted vote remaining that way accordingly with population, will actually reduce the representation provided by each supervisor to members of our community. I believe that will actually provide for the disenfranchisement of some members of our community because there's not sufficient representation from each of them. In fact, surprisingly, when I crunched the numbers, these smaller towns in the county are actually more likely to get benefit from having two supervisors from the town of Half Moon. There are a number of other ways that it could be calculated, reducing some that have 2 to 1, moving some to 3, changing the number entirely, but I think continuing to move it piece by piece rather than actually looking at what benefits the representation of our county is, I think it's kind of an idea that's stuck in the past. And so I will be voting no on that. I don't know whether there will be any support for that or not, and it will go to a public hearing, so the public will speak to it prior to any enactment, but I'm happy to share the numbers with anybody who's here. But my goal is not to maintain the same number of supervisors we've had since time immemorial, is to make sure that the residents of our county are represented. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor Gaston. I would just comment, appreciate your comments. But there was a time when the town of Moreau was the largest town in Saratoga County with the highest weighted vote, so it moves in both directions. So appreciate your comments. And Supervisor Gaston.
Do I have a minute left?
Pardon?
Or do I have time left?
Yes.
I understand that it moves in both directions. That's the point of having the census every 10 years and moderating it. Throwing a complete wrench in it, I also think the Board of Supervisors is not a very useful model of government for our county either, but I don't know that we're going to fix that with this resolution, but I think we should try as hard as we can to represent all the members of our community. So, and it does change, one way or the other. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Supervisor Townsend.
Supervisor Gaston, just so we are clear, my intention is to represent all the residents of the town of Half Moon and the residents of Saratoga County. So whether it's one supervisor or 2, you can vote whoever you wish. Please understand that I represent all the residents of the town of Half Moon to the best of my ability.
Thank you, Supervisor. Supervisor Lance? Any other supervisor wish to be heard? Hearing none, call the roll.
Supervisor Barrett.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Connolly.
Yes.
Edwards.
Yes.
Gaston.
No.
Rosso.
Yes.
Hammond.
Yes.
Kanowski.
Yes.
Kuzniers.
Yes.
Lant.
Yes.
Lawler.
Yes.
Ostrander.
Yes.
Peck.
Yes.
Raymond.
Yes.
Richardson.
Yes.
Shaw.
Yes.
Smith.
Yes.
Tollison. Kevin Beach.
Yes.
Matt Beach.
Yes.
Winnie.
Yes.
Wood.
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. And would somebody like to move resolution 53 for discussion? Supervisor Beach. Matt Beach.
I'll second.
Seconded by Supervisor Gaston. Discussion. Supervisor Beach.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is normally a pretty routine resolution for us to do. I'm going to take this off quickly, just sound a little clearer. Just wanted to say we were appointing a new Saratoga Springs on the sewer commission, and I just wanted to publicly thank our former commissioner, George Gannon. He's been on the board probably for, I think, the second longest serving tenured member of the sewer commission right now, so just want to thank him for his service. It's not easy to volunteer time for these boards and commissions for no compensation and contribute to the county, so I just wanted to thank him publicly for his service to the sewer commission before we go ahead and appoint the new member. So thank you, Mr. Chairman, for your time.
Thank you very much, Supervisor. Any other discussion on Resolution 53? Or comments? Hearing none, roll call.
Supervisor Barrett,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Connolly,
Yes.
Edwards,
Yes.
Gaston,
Yes.
Grasso,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Kanowski,
Yes.
Kuzniers,
Yes.
Lant,
Yes.
Lawler,
Yes.
Ostrander,
Yes.
Peck,
Yes.
Raymond,
Yes.
Richardson,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Tallison,
Yes.
Kevin Beach,
Yes.
Matt Beach,
Yes.
Winnie,
Yes.
Wood,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
motion passes.
Thank you. And at this time, agenda item 12 is unfinished business and new proposals. I would like to move that to after our executive session, which is required today for an update on proposed pending and current litigation. And I'd entertain a motion to invite Carl Slate, Drew Jarash, Chad Cook, and Steve Bolter into that executive session.
So moved.
Moved by Supervisor Connolly, seconded by Supervisor Barrett. Roll call.
Supervisor Barrett,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Connolly,
Yes.
Edwards,
Yes.
Gaston,
Yes.
Grasso,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Kanowski,
Yes.
Kuzniers,
Yes.
Lant,
Yes.
Lawler,
Yes.
Ostrander,
Yes.
Peck,
Yes.
Raymond,
Yes.
Richardson,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Tallison,
Yes.
Kevin Beach,
Yes.
Matt Beach,
Yes.
Winnie,
Yes.
Wood,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
motion passes.
Thank you very much, Supervisor Barrett.
Yeah, I'm sorry to, I was gonna do this under unfinished business, before we go into executive session, because I know he has to leave, so if I could just have a quick
Absolutely.
minute to recognize somebody. Chris Resney's here from the town of Clifton Park. Chris has been, working in my office for the last few weeks as he's been on break from UAlbany. And, he's had a, crash course in, COVID response as the pandemic has increased and pressuring all organizations. Certainly Clifton Park has been no different. And whether it was our public test kit giveaway distribution that he worked so hard on, as well as a recent event that we had. We collect hundreds of pounds of food and personal care items for 4 organizations in Saratoga County in partnership with World Series champion Ian Anderson. And he's been separating masks and bags. And we got all those masks to all of our senior housing complexes. So he's been right in the middle of all the action. I want to thank him for his volunteer efforts. He stopped me in Home Depot this summer and asked me about an internship, and we don't really have an official internship program, but he said, yeah, sure, you know. If he contacts me in the, later on in the year, I'm sure we could figure something out. So we did, so thank you, Chris.
Thank you very much, Chris, and welcome to the Saratoga County Board of Supervisors. And on behalf of all of us, thank you for all the good work you've done on behalf of Saratoga County residents. So how about a round of applause? So at this time, for the public's benefit, we'll be going into executive session. I expect that we'll be taking action afterwards, but we're now in executive session. Executive session, which will require a roll call vote, and I would like the record to reflect that no action was taken in executive session.
Yeah, so I think, yeah, thanks. Is there a motion to come out?
There's no action taken.
Supervisor
No,
Bear.
hold on 1 second. Is there a motion?
I'll entertain a motion to come out of executive session. Who moved it?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Supervisor Matt Veach, seconded by Supervisor Barrett. Roll call.
Supervisor Bear.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Connolly.
Yes.
Edwards.
Yes.
Gaston.
Yes.
Grasso.
Yes.
Hammond.
Yes.
Kanowski.
Yes.
Kuzniers.
Yes.
Lant.
Yes.
Lawler.
Yes.
Ostrander.
Yes.
Heck.
He's not on, absent.
Raymond. Richardson.
Yes.
Shaw. Smith.
Yes.
Tollison.
Yes.
Kevin Beach.
Yes.
Matt Beach.
Yes.
Winnie.
Yes.
Wood.
Yes.
Wright.
Yeah.
Motion passes.
Thank you. And at this time, this takes us to agenda item number 12, which is unfinished business and new proposals. I believe there is a resolution to be offered in relation to authorizing a settlement with Allergan Finance LLC and Allergan Limited, collectively Allergan, named in an action to recover damages in combating and treating opioid abuse.
You might be right, Mr. Chairman. At this point, I would move resolution 54 be added to the agenda. The town attorney's just distributed that to everybody.
And seconded by Supervisor Tollison.
That's to add it to the agenda.
And this will be to add resolution 54 to today's agenda. Does everybody have a copy of the proposed resolution?
Yep.
What about online? Was it email?
No, but I can email it to them now.
Okay.
Bridget can do the roll call.
We'll stand by until we get copies of the proposed resolution to.
We need a roll call to add.
We have Kanowski, Lawler,
Lawler, Wood.
and Wood. He's not on that?
Supervisors on the line, we will be providing you a copy of the proposed resolution momentarily. For those supervisors on the line, I just want to make sure you have a copy of the proposed resolution. Anyone who doesn't?
Not yet.
Okay, we'll wait.
I have it.
Any other
I
supervisor?
got it. Supervisor Wood, I got it.
Thanks, Supervisor. Supervisor Kanowski, do you have a copy?
Yes.
Okay. So this, again, the resolution is to add resolution 54 to today's agenda. Roll call vote.
Supervisor Barrett.
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Connolly.
Yes.
Edwards.
Yes.
Gaston.
Yes.
Grasso.
Yes.
Hammond.
Yes.
Kanowski.
Yes.
Kuzniers.
Yes.
Lant.
Yes.
Lawler.
Yes.
Ostrander.
Yes.
Raymond.
Yes.
Richardson.
Yes.
Shaw.
Yeah.
Smith.
Yes.
Tollison.
Yes.
Kevin Beach.
Yes.
Matt Beach,
Yes.
Winnie,
Yes.
Wood,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
motion passes.
Thank you. And if the clerk would please read into the record the resolution.
Do you want somebody to make a motion to be introduced by?
Well, I thought we were going to do that afterwards.
You gotta read it first.
You gotta
Read it first? All right. Resolution 54, authorizing a settlement with Allergan Finance LLC and Allergan Limited, collectively Allergan, named in an action to recover damages in combating and treating opioid abuse. Whereas pursuant to Resolution 203 of 2017, this board authorized the commencement of litigation against the manufacturers, distributors, and certain prescribing physicians of opioid pharmaceuticals to recover damages resulting from the county combating and treating opioid abuse, and further authorized the retention of Napoli Schlonek PLLC to serve as special counsel with respect to the initiation and prosecution of such litigation. And whereas the County of Saratoga and many other municipalities are a member of a lawsuit commenced in Suffolk County against manufacturers, distributors, and certain prescribing physicians of opioid pharmaceuticals. And whereas the action was commenced against defendants Allergan Finance LLC, formerly known as Actavis Inc., formerly known as Watson Pharmaceuticals, and Allergan Limited, formerly known as Allergan PLC, formerly known as Actavis PLC, collectively Allergan, based on claims that Allergan contributed to the opioid epidemic by falsely promoting prescription opioids it manufactured and sold, and by falsely promoting the increased use of opioids directly and through various front groups, and failing to implement measures to prevent diversion and prescription opioids in connection with distribution of its product, all of which contributed to a public health crisis. And whereas Allergan has offered to settle the claims of the County of Saratoga by paying a sum of approximately $335,915.75 in a one-time direct payment to be used for restitution, in addition, agreeing to injunctive relief that drastically changes the company's business model as it relates to opioids, including restraining Allergan or its affiliates, including its parent AbbVie, from manufacturing, selling, promoting, or lobbying for opioids for 10 years. And whereas the cornerstone of the proposed settlement is a full resolution of governmental claims filed in the state against Allergan, which will maximize the recovery and incentive scenarios are built into the agreement to secure and achieve a full $125 million value of the settlement. And whereas to join the proposed settlement, this board needs to authorize the county becoming a party to the Allergan settlement term sheet and the New York Opioid Settlement Sharing Agreement and become a direct share subdivision. And whereas pursuant to the terms of the proposed settlement, all counsel fees, costs, and expenses will be paid directly by Allergan from a separate fund. And whereas if all incentives are met, Saratoga County will recover a total of $365,915.78 from Allergan as a one-time direct payment to be used in part for projects and programs focused on approved uses. And whereas Napoli Schlonek PLLC and the county attorney have recommended settlement of the lawsuit against Allergan as recommended to avoid protracted litigation and to maximize the recovery of damages for the county. Now therefore be it resolved that it is in the best interests of the county to resolve and settle the litigation against Allergan in the matter proposed by Napoli Schlonek PLLC, and this board authorizes settlement of all claims and demands made by the County of Saratoga against Allergan Finance LLC and Allergan Limited, collectively Allergan, in the manner proposed by Napoli Schlonek PLLC, and it is further resolved that the chair of the board and or special counsel Napoli Schlonek PLLC and or the county attorney are hereby authorized to execute the Allergan New York sharing agreement and the New York Allergan term sheet and any other releases or documents necessary to settle and conclude the litigation commenced by the County of Saratoga against Allergan, and it is further resolved that the form and content of such documents and releases shall be subject to the approval of the county attorney, and it is further resolved that this resolution shall take effect immediately. Budget impact statement, no budget impact.
Thank you. Someone like to move that resolution?
So moved.
Supervisor Richardson, is there a second? Second by Supervisor Hammond. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll.
Supervisor Barrett,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Connolly,
Yes.
Edwards,
Yes.
Gaston,
Yes.
Grasso,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Kanowski. Supervisor Kanowski, you might be muted. If so, you'd have to press *6 to
Yeah.
unmute. Thank you.
Yes.
Kuzniers,
Yes.
Lant,
Yes.
Lawler,
Yes.
Ostrander,
Yes.
Raymond,
Yes.
Richardson,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Tollison,
Yes.
Kevin Beach,
Yes.
Matt Beach,
Yes.
Winnie,
Yes.
Wood,
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you, and is there any other unfinished business and new proposals? If not, almost there, Supervisor. We have on the agenda, item 14, other business. Any other business before the board?
I'll second Connor's motion.
We're not to the chairman's agenda. Public input. No public input. Roll call on the motion to adjourn in the second.
Supervisor Barrett,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Connolly,
Yes.
Edwards,
Yes.
Gaston,
Yes.
Grasso,
Yes.
Hammond,
Yes.
Kanowski,
Yes.
Kuzniers,
Yes.
Lant,
Yes.
Lawler,
Yes.
Ostrander,
Yes.
Raymond, Richardson,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes.
Tollison,
Yes.
Kevin Beach,
Yes.
Matt Beach,
Yes.
Winnie, Wood,
Yes.
Wright. Motion passes.
Thank you very much, everyone.